not across the border, not even in the safety of their homes. They will be tracked down and they will be killed inside their own homes. But this time in Pahalgam, this new law which was achieved required Operation Sindoor. So they attacked tourists and we attacked terrorists. We did not target Pakistan civilians. Our response, Operation Sindoor, was precise, it was measured, and it targeted terrorist sites. And only when Pakistan escalated did we then hit back at many more sites. Sir, this is not a reaction. This is a doctrine. This is the Modi doctrine. This is the new normal which Pakistan has now understood. Let me say this clearly, sir, that the India of today is not the India of 2008. This is very important because this turnaround, this new normal, is because of our changed policies. Sir, we must give full credit to our armed forces. The Honorable Defence Minister has pointed out their bravery, their sacrifices for the nation, and during this conflict also, what is important is, one question was asked, what about China? I have several things to say about China, but let me point out, when the Honorable Defence Minister said that the Indian Air Force bypassed and jammed air defence systems of Pakistan in 22 minutes, those were Chinese-supplied air defence systems that were neutralized in just 22 minutes. Sir, what is not often talked about, one thing we must, of course, acknowledge is that the entire country stood united on Operation Sindoor. I'm glad that even some friends across the aisle, across the other benches today, reiterated that. But sometimes, some honourable members have not been beneath taking this issue into domestic politics. I will come into that. One of the aspects that did not get talked about is that in this operation, where 11 air bases of a nuclear-armed country was hit. This is perhaps a first. This is perhaps a first that the armed bases of a nuclear-armed country was hit by India, 11 of them, and it destroyed 20% of Pakistan's Air Force assets. This is something that is worth remembering. The 9 bases of terrorists, their camps, which were neutralized, involved those of the Jaish-e-Mohammed, those of the Lashkar-e-Taiba, those of the Hizbul Mujahideen, all proscribed terror organizations who have long targeted India with the support of Pakistan. They are Pakistani-based, they are Pakistani. Sir, we have talked about more than 100 terrorists being eliminated in Operation Sindoor's hit on Pakistan. It is also important to point out that at least 5 of them were very infamous names known around the world. Names like Mudassar Khadian Khan, senior operator of LET. This is the person who was given a guard of honor by the Pakistani military. Khalid alias Abu Akasha, another Lashkar-e-Taiba commander. Muhammad Yusuf Azhar, wanted in the IC-814 hijack terror attack. Hafiz Muhammad Jamil, brother-in-law of Maulana Masood Azhar, and Muhammad Hassan Khan, Jaish-e-Mohammed commander. These are very significant names. These are very significant achievements in eliminating these terrorists. On the other hand, Pakistan's attempt to retaliate failed. And it pains me that friends in the opposition who have questioned India, who have questioned the successes achieved by the Indian armed forces, haven't pointed out these failures of Pakistan, nor have they asked these questions of Pakistan. Sir, Pakistan attacked Jammu University. It attacked the UN field station in Kashmir. These were neutralized, as the Honorable Defence Minister pointed out, by the UAS Unmanned Aerial System Grid. India's actions were purely to counter terrorism and hit terrorists, decoupling the issue from any other disputes. Sir, if we look at the new normal that I have been talking about, it is important to understand what the past was. In the past, on a regular basis, almost on a daily basis, Pakistani sponsored terrorists were attacking India and killing Indians. Sir, if I give you a short list of the previous terror attacks and our responses, you will understand, sir, and I hope all our friends will understand that the new normal indeed is very dramatically different. Sir, 2005, Delhi serial blasts. A dossier was sent to Pakistan. So 2006, Varanasi bombings. India raised the issue in Indo-Pak talks. Mumbai attacks, sir, 2008, when so many people were killed and the then government decided not to retaliate. What is most shameful is that retaliation was considered. Retaliation was planned by our armed forces, but the then government did not permit retaliation. It is on record that the then senior-most officials of the government, whether it was the Foreign Secretary, whether it was the then NSA, took a decision not to hit back at Pakistan. This is what is really shocking, sir. 2006, Mumbai terror bombings. It is also important to point out that after the Mumbai attacks, 7 months after that, the then Prime Minister met the Pakistani president on the sidelines of the SCO summit in Russia and decided that India and Pakistan would continue dialogue. So we kept appeasing them. Our governments of the day over decades kept appeasing them, putting no pressure on them to stop their terror funding, terror organizing. Sir, in 2006, 2 months after the Mumbai train bombings, the then Prime Minister met Pakistani President Musharraf on the sidelines of the NAM summit in Havana and again agreed to maintain the peace process. So that so-called peace process was no peace process at all. It was only peaceful for Pakistan. Indians in large numbers were sacrificed. India was attacked repeatedly and large numbers of Indians were harmed and killed. Sir, worst of all, in 2009, within 8 months of the Mumbai terror attack, the then Prime Minister met his Pakistani counterpart at Sharm el-Sheikh in Egypt and agreed to again continue the cooperation with Pakistan. This for a country that for 78 years has been attacking India ceaselessly. Our approach in the past was only to cooperate, only to talk, not to retaliate, not to teach them a lesson. Sir, the worst part of this at Sharm el-Sheikh was a reference to Balochistan, which can be interpreted as if India and Pakistan are equated, as if India does similar things to Pakistan, whereas the issues are entirely different. There are no terror camps in India training terrorists and sending them to Balochistan. There is no equation at all. There is no comparison at all. And yet, our government of the day had no compunction in granting such a hyphenation with Pakistan. Sir, this can go on and on. There are many, many different such examples, and I will come to some of them. Sir, one question has been raised as to whether there was pressure on India to conclude the hostilities. There was absolutely no pressure on India. This has been pointed out again and again. Sir, any country can call and make suggestions. Anybody can do that. We as members of Parliament can call up our counterparts when they are in the midst of hostilities, and we can give them suggestions. That is not how the hostilities ended. Sir, India has pointed out very, very clearly that this is a bilateral issue. and we have no intention of escalating. We would stop hostilities if Pakistan requested. And until and unless Pakistan directly requested India, we did not stop the hostilities. It had no relation, no connection to any requests by anybody else until Pakistan directly requested India. And sir, I ask my friends in the opposition, this has not been contradicted by anyone. Has anyone contradicted India's assertion that we insisted that it had to be a Pakistani request that we will respond to? And Pakistan finally came to its knees and requested, and that is what we responded to. Now, it is shameful that many in our country keep questioning the Indian armed forces, keep questioning the Indian government, and don't question what Pakistan stands for, what Pakistan says. Sir, I want to point out what Pakistan has said. They made absurd claims. Pakistan has made a claim to an international TV channel on 7th May. Pakistan's IB Minister Ataullah Tarar said, there are no terrorist camps in Pakistan. Have any of our friends in the opposition questioned that? Many of them have been quoted repeatedly in international media. Have any of them questioned that? Pakistan, where the most infamous terrorist in memory, the Al-Qaeda chief, was sheltered next to an army base, claiming that it doesn't have terror camps. When terror camps have been pointed out in satellite imagery, not only terror camps have been pointed out, because of the efforts of our government, many terrorist organizations and many individual terrorists have been proscribed by a variety of multilateral organizations, including the United Nations itself. Sir, I would like to point out that when the Honorable Congress member from Assam talked about certain things, I think it does deserve a response. I compliment him and others who said that they stand with the government of India. But the questions and the accusations against the government cannot go unanswered. Sir, it was amusing when he asked when POK would be got back. Sir, it was amusing when he referred to the number of Rafales and the China question. Sir, I would like to point out, and he used the point and he used the word that India bowed down. And his leader, whom he cited today in relation to the China question, has often used the word surrender. I think it is important for this House to point out how many times over the decades Congress has surrendered India's interest. Please have the patience to listen to this. 1948, Pakistan illegally occupied 78,000 square kilometers, the same POK that my friend was referring to. When our armed forces wanted just a little bit more time to conclude the armed operations and take it back, the then Prime Minister took the matter to the UN. Surrender. Number one, it started from day one. 1949, Congress ignored the Kabah Valley, which was leased to Burma by UK. Manipur had received rent until 1949. Congress did nothing about it. Surrendered that. Surrender number two. Sir, in 1954, our then Prime Minister conceded India's rights in Tibet, accepting China's annexation without gain, withdrawing our military escorts and services. A very major surrender, number three. Sir, in 1958, under the Noon-Nehru Pact, Berubari was transferred to East Pakistan, despite severe opposition. Another surrender. So I lose count of the number of surrenders, but there are quite a lot. Please allow me to point out a few more. If I list all the surrenders that Congress did of India's national interest, then the 16 hours that the Honorable Speaker has granted us will not be enough. But I will point out a few more. Sir, in the 1950s, our then Prime Minister rejected the proposal for a UN permanent seat for India in the Security Council. Surrender to China. Surrender 1960, India conceded the Sarja Majra, Rakh Hardit Singh, Pathan Ke, Suleiman Ke, and Chak Lereke in Punjab to Pakistan. Another surrender. Sir, our then Prime Minister played down the valley of Aksai Chin in 1959, calling it barren and uninhabited, when in fact it is full of mineral resources, dismissing conflict with China. Another surrender. Sir, I can just go on and on and on. In 1963, Pakistan conceded more than 5,000 square kilometers in POK to China. India stayed silent. Surrender. So I can just keep going on. In 1965, India returned the Haji Pir Pass to Pakistan under the Tashkent Agreement. Surrender. Sir, under the 1971 Shimla Agreement, India returned 5,000 square miles to Pakistan, while Pakistan retained.
All right, so that heated debate in Parliament does continue, but this comes on a day in which India has eliminated 3 terrorists, including the mastermind of the Pahalgam attack itself. That man, Suleiman Shah, otherwise known as Musa, was thought to be the mastermind of this entire operation. The other terrorists killed include Abu Hamza over there on your screen, and one other. So it is a major victory for India, not just the army, and the security forces, the police, the Rashtriya Rifles, the CRPF, but it is a huge operation in the fight against terror. But at the end of the day, we should never forget about what happened in Pahalgam on that day. We've got a very special guest with us. Aishanya Dwivedi is the wife of late Shubham Dwivedi, and she was there and she witnessed the horror firsthand. Aishanya, thank you for having the courage to come out and speak to us. There has been justice which has been delivered today. It's taken time, but it's come. 3 terrorists, including the mastermind, have been eliminated. What are your thoughts on this big development that's taken place?
I would say this is just starting of the end of the terrorism, because at the end of the day, these is not just 1 or 2 in numbers. These are cancers who are spread over the world, who are spread over the country. They need to be finished. I'm really happy with how we are starting it. I'm really kind of in a relief that it is a good start. And at the end of the day, the pain will not go, the closure will not happen, but at least some peace will come to us, and some peace will go to the people who actually were shot there, who actually are the martyr.
So that's important. You do feel, or you will feel, some peace, some sense of closure, you and your loved ones, your family members, after this news. That's what you're telling us?
Yeah, this is it's not closure. I will not use the word closure, because the closure will never come to us.
Yeah.
It's never going to happen.
Yeah.
This is a relief. This is a peace. Somewhere we will now sleep well, knowingly that those people who actually killed our husband are dead. And the people who are behind this, people who are actually sitting somewhere and doing these operations, commanding these terrorists, they will also be dead soon. And I know this because I have faith in our Indian army.
Aishanya, I hate to bring this back, but for the benefit of people around the world who are seeing this, you'd gone on a holiday over there
Yes.
to Pahalgam. And what exactly happened? Were these terrorists in one group? Were they running around? I know that people were separated. It's important, and I know it's difficult, but I think people need to know what happened. Could you tell us?
They were not doing it in groups. They came through different sides. They came from different area. They did not came from one side. Because Shubham was the one who shot first. So the person who shot the first gunshot, he came from near the entry gate. Yeah, I really remember that very well. He came from the entry gate, and also I do not know how these people have got those weapons up there, because it's a trail and you cannot carry those big weapons. But it happened.
Yeah.
It did happen. And we are the victims. We are going through this. I can I cannot sleep even a day without thinking about it.
Yeah. Aishanya, after the horrific attack took place, India launched Operation Sindoor. We took out terrorist camps in Pakistan, several of them. In fact, here on NDTV, we broadcast the pictures of the strikes. And at one level, those were, the controllers of terrorists, like, the terrorists involved in Pahalgam. So, and now, finally, this operation has happened.
Yes.
So do you believe that, this all shows India's resolve? You can't win this battle overnight, but it shows our resolve in striking at the heart of terror, or do you believe much more needs to be done?
Much more needs to be done. This is just the starting of it. And I am saying this from day one. Let's talk about the bigger picture. The terrorism should end. The terrorism should stop. It's not just India who are the victim, who are people who are being attacked by terrorists. There are a lot of other countries who have been attacked by these terrorists. Everyone should come together and stand tall against the terrorism. Terrorism now should be ended for good.
Aishanya, one final question to you. We've seen these wonderful pictures of your marriage over there in the center of the screen, and could you tell us a little bit about Shubham? What was he like? Did he have a sense of humor? Was he very stern? What kind of human being was he like? Tell us about someone, not just the name we know, but what kind of human being was he like?
He was a beautiful soul, happy soul. I know that I've been with him 6 months, 22 days, and there were not a single day when I wasn't happy with him. I was happy every second. He made sure of it. He loved me so much that he could actually bring the world to me. It was like that.
Yeah.
He was the heart of the family.
Yeah, no, I can imagine. Aishanya, thank you so much. And it's a big step towards justice. And thank you for keeping the faith. And thank you for your courage and speaking to us. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you so much.
Well, we're going to have the Governor of Jammu and Kashmir, his reactions in just a few moments from now. But, that interview with Aishanya Dwivedi, captures the horror of what she saw, married for just, 6 odd months, witnessed her husband being executed by those terrorists. Well, those terrorists, at least including the mastermind, has been killed, eliminated today in that major encounter. Let's just listen in to what the Governor of Jammu and Kashmir has said.
ये सच है कि 3 पाकिस्तानी आतंकवादी अभी नसी गांव के पास एलिमिनेट किए गए हैं। विवरण मुझे लगता है कि मैं बताऊं ये उचित नहीं, पुलिस प्रशासन उसका पूरा विवरण देगा। कई ऑपरेशन ऐसे होते हैं जिनकी जानकारी हमें नहीं मिलती है। इस प्रकार के अनेक काइनेटिक ऑपरेशन पिछले कई महीनों से जम्मू कश्मीर पुलिस, सेना और सीएपीएफ चला रही है, जिसमें आतंकवादी एलिमिनेट होते हैं। मुझे लगता है कि उसको तो ज़्यादा मीडिया हाईलाइट करती है, लेकिन ऐसे अनेक ऑपरेशन जिससे लोगों की ज़िंदगी बचती है वो हमारे ध्यान में नहीं आता। मैं सेना को, जम्मू कश्मीर पुलिस को और इस ऑपरेशन में लगे सभी साथियों को हृदय से बधाई देता हूँ।
तीनों आतंकवादी पहलगाम आतंकी हमले में शामिल थे।
ये मैं समझता हूँ कि पुलिस इसको डिटेल में बताएगी।
All right, we'll take a short break, come back to this big story. The mastermind and 2 other terrorists involved in that horrific attack on Pahalgam, in which 26 innocent civilians were killed. They've been eliminated. A massive victory for security forces. It's taken 97 days, but we got them.
Hello, Moto.
Moto G96 5G. All eyes on you.
Markets move fast.
And so should your portfolio. Expert insights, real-time stock picks.
Do I buy Ola?
Should I hold CDSL for the long term?
Buy, sell or hold.
The answers you need, straight from the experts.
Callers from India and across the world. Connect live, ask, decide and invest wisely.
Your portfolio, your future. Ask Profit.
Forget 10,000 steps. What if just 7,000 a day was all it took to live longer and healthier? A major new study published in the Lancet Public Health has found that walking around 7,000 steps a day is strongly associated with better health and a lower risk of dying early. Researchers analyzed data from over 160,000 adults and found that people who walk approximately 7,000 steps a day had significantly lower risks for a wide range of chronic diseases. Compared to those who walk just 2,000 steps daily, these individuals saw a 47% reduction in all-cause mortality, 25% drop in cardiovascular disease, 14% lower risk of type 2 diabetes, 22% reduction in depression, 38% decline in dementia risk, 28% fewer falls, and a 6% reduction in cancer risk. Unlike earlier studies that mostly focused on heart health or death rates, this is the first major research effort to comprehensively examine the impact of daily steps on multiple health outcomes. The review included 57 studies, of which 31 were analyzed in detail through meta-analysis, making this the most extensive data set to date on how walking affects health. Interestingly, the study also shows that even 2,000 steps per day provides better health outcomes than being inactive. While benefits for some conditions like heart disease continue to rise beyond 7,000 steps, for most other outcomes, the gain started to plateau after this point. The authors argue that 7,000 steps per day may be a more realistic and achievable target for many people, compared to the commonly cited 10,000 step goal, which was never based on scientific evidence. They say that step count is a simple and effective way to measure physical activity, and these findings could help shape future public health recommendations.
All right, well, the Home Minister Amit Shah will be speaking at 12 p.m. tomorrow. The debate in Parliament continues on Operation Sindoor. We saw the Defence Minister Rajnath Singh speak today. We do expect the Prime Minister possibly at some stage to speak as well, but we don't know when. Earlier reports that it might be at 5 p.m. tomorrow, now somewhat less confirmed, but we are told that it's the Home Minister who will be speaking at 12 noon tomorrow. Maria Shakil joins us for more on this. So, Maria, the debate tomorrow continues in the Lok Sabha. Does it move to the Rajya Sabha, or will there be, debates in both houses?
It's likely to overlap tomorrow because tomorrow will be day 2 of this 16-hour discussion in the Lok Sabha, and it's likely to begin in the Rajya Sabha sometime tomorrow. Perhaps it could start a day after as well. But the sense certainly is that the Treasury benches is all prepared. If you look at the speech of the opening speaker, that was Rajnath Singh, he did have all the response that the opposition has had on its mind and the questions that the opposition has raised ever since Operation Sindoor happened. I think the biggest success of the government certainly was when it managed to send a multi-party delegation across the globe. 7 multi-party delegations which were led, some of them in fact being led by those MPs who were seen as opposition MPs, one including Dr. Shashi Tharoor, who traveled to Brazil and the United States of America. So I think with Rajnath Singh being the opening speaker, the stage is set. Tomorrow sometime around 12 noon is what we are being told. Home Minister Amit Shah will speak sometime later in the evening, perhaps around 8 p.m. today is when Dr. S. Jaishankar is likely to intervene. It's a long list of speakers of the Treasury benches, and so is the list also of the opposition. You had heard from Gaurav Gogoi raising some valid questions again, but it will be interesting to see what time will the Prime Minister speak. At the moment, there is no confirmation whether the Prime Minister will be speaking tomorrow and what time will he be speaking. But we can certainly confirm to our viewers that H.M. Shah is likely to intervene tomorrow.
The Prime Minister will speak. It's just a question of when, right, Maria?
We'll have to wait on that as well, because the government is watching, the floor managers are watching of how this entire discussion is playing out in Parliament. It was supposed to begin at 12 noon. Of course, it began around 2 p.m. So because of constant, intervention, or should I say disruptions which played out in the Lok Sabha. So there was this skepticism whether the discussion will happen at all in the Lok Sabha today, because the opposition certainly was insisting that they should be allowed to speak on the ongoing SIR, which is the Special Intensive Revision Exercise, which is going on in Bihar. So now that the Operation Sindoor discussion is happening, there is a possibility that the Lok Sabha could sit till late in the night to ensure that all those speakers who are listed for today will be able to make that intervention in the Lok Sabha.
Maria, the entire complexion of this debate has changed from, why have the terrorists not been caught, to 3 terrorists having been eliminated, including the mastermind. Surely that would be reflected in a major way tomorrow.
Yes, it's likely. Because, Vishnu, you cover the Defence Ministry and you would understand that Army has been so far tight-lipped. They would be coming out with a press release or a press conference which was earlier scheduled around 5 p.m. which has now been postponed because it's an ongoing operation, it's a developing situation. So when the details emerges perhaps from the Army, that's when it will be reflected by the Defence Ministry.
Just half a second, Maria. We're going to need to go across to Dipinder Huda speaking on this. Let's listen in.
घटना है कि आपको याद, अगर उन दिनों में उनकी व्यवस्था थी तो दिन बदले जा सकते थे, और अगर दिन में व्यवस्था थी तो रात के 12 बजे भी अगर आप सर्वदलीय बैठक रहते तो हमारे नेता, देश के विपक्ष के नेता सब आने के लिए तैयार थे। दुनिया में एक शक्ति प्रदर्शित होती भारत के लोकतंत्र की कि सब एक हैं, लेकिन आपने वो मौका चूक गए आप। उसके बाद बहरहाल ऑपरेशन सिंदूर में हमारी फौज ने अपना पराक्रम दिखाया, अपना लोहा मनवाया, और एक ऐसा समय आया 9 तारीख के बाद जब दुनिया ये मानने लगी कि हिंदुस्तान की फौज का अपर हैंड है, हम एडवांटेजियस पोजीशन में हैं, हम दुश्मन के गले के नजदीक हैं। लेकिन फिर 10 तारीख को यकायक सीज फायर। देश की भावना थी कि पाकिस्तान को मुंह तोड़ जवाब दिया जाए, निर्णायक जवाब दिया जाए, जैसा 1971 में पाकिस्तान के 2 टुकड़े करके दिखाया था हमारी देश की फौज ने। तत्कालीन प्रधानमंत्री जी इंदिरा जी के समय पाकिस्तान को ऐसा जवाब दिया जाए। आप बार-बार बोलते थे, पाकिस्तान ऑक्यूपाइड कश्मीर की बात बोलते थे, अब आगे किस मुंह से आप पाकिस्तान ऑक्यूपाइड कश्मीर की बात रखेंगे देश के सामने? आपके सभी वक्तव्यों में कहा गया है कि पाकिस्तान घुटनों पे था। आप ही कह रहे हैं अगर पाकिस्तान घुटनों पे था तो सीज फायर जिसको आपने स्वीकृति दी और आप कह रहे हैं कि हमने सीज फायर को माना, अगर पाकिस्तान घुटनों में था तो सीज फायर की क्या जस्टिफिकेशन है? मगर दुख तो तब हुआ, देश के दिल में दुख हुआ कि देश की जो भावनाएं थी उन भावनाओं पे विराम, युद्ध विराम, पाकिस्तान की ईंट से ईंट बजाने की भावनाओं पे विराम अमेरिका की एक ट्वीट ने आपके युद्ध विराम की घोषणा से पहले की। उसके बारे में मैं आऊंगा, लेकिन ये सीज फायर की क्या शर्तें थी देश के सामने आपको रखना चाहिए। मगर इन शर्तों के साथ साथ युद्ध विराम से पहले भी एक रणनीतिक चूक हुई। आज राजनाथ सिंह जी कह रहे थे कि कांग्रेस के समय यह रणनीतिक चूक हुई पाकिस्तान को लेकर। सबसे बड़ी रणनीतिक भूल उस समय हुई, आदरणीय विदेश मंत्री जी बैठे जब इन्होंने टेलीफोन करके कहा कि हम केवल आतंकी ठिकानों को निशाने पे ले रहे हैं, मगर हम किसी मिलिट्री या सिविलियन ठिकानों को निशाने पे नहीं ले रहे। जब ये कहा, आपने स्वीकार किया एक तरीके से क्लीन चिट दी पाकिस्तान की आर्मी और सरकार को, और अलग अलग दृष्टि से आपने देखा पाकिस्तान, जबकि आपके सारे ही स्पीकर्स कह रहे हैं, मान रहे हैं, और देश मानता है, दुनिया को पता है कि पाकिस्तान की सरकार, पाकिस्तान की आर्मी और इन आतंकियों में कोई भेद नहीं किया जा सकता। ये एक हैं। मगर आपने स्वयं टेलीफोन करके अलग अलग दृष्टि से देखने का काम किया कि केवल हम आतंकी ठिकानों को, ये जो रणनीतिक भूल हुई है इतिहास में, हमेशा ये बात पाकिस्तान को एक आपने मौका दिया ये कहने के लिए। विदेश मंत्रालय की क्या भूमिका रहती है देश में? विदेश मंत्री का काम कोई स्कूल, कॉलेज या सड़क बनाना नहीं होता। विदेश मंत्रालय का काम होता है दुनिया में अपने दोस्त मुल्कों की संख्या को बढ़ाना। विदेश मंत्रालय की और विदेश नीति की आपकी सच्चाई 11 साल की तब सामने आई जब ये टकराव की स्थिति पैदा हुई। कितने देश आपके साथ आके खड़े हुए और कितने देशों ने खुल के पाकिस्तान का साथ दिया।
Hello, Moto.
Moto G96 5G. All eyes on you.
3 terrorists believed to be the masterminds of the Pahalgam terror attack have been gunned down in an encounter with security forces at Lidwas near Jammu and Kashmir, Srinagar. The army has said. The official X account of the Indian Army's Chinar Corps earlier posted that the security forces have launched Operation Mahadev in Lidwas. 3 terrorists have been neutralized in an intense gunfight. The operation continues, is what they've said.
Vanakkam Tamil Nadu.
Now the battle for Tamil Nadu 2026 is open now.
After Chief Minister Stalin rolls up his sleeves and Vijay steps in as a star challenger.
This is a mass gathering, not for cash.
Meanwhile, a former Chief Minister, Edapadi Palanisamy, begins his fight back.
The big comeback campaign by EPS has well and truly begun.
These are all the ultimate players, and this is going to be the ultimate test.
Well, in the latest episode of Control All Defense, we are talking about a platform that all of you want to hear about, the Tejas. The big question, we do know it's a great platform, but is it of use for the Indian Air Force going into the future? How relevant will it remain?
I've been reporting on all issues big and small from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, rest of South India, bringing you all the action, all that you need to know, all that you want to know.
The energy of Maximum City is infectious. I'm bringing that energy in our news coverage from financial capital Mumbai.
Covering from the southernmost part of India over the last 23 years, I bring in-depth and 360-degree coverage from the Dravidian heartland.
The land of Mishti, also known for its bitter politics. I have seen much water flow under the Howrah Bridge, covering Bengal in all its vivid colors.
India's IT capital is always bustling, a city full of startups, stories and surprises. And I keep you ahead on all the Bengaluru buzz.
Is your business future ready? Join the 13-week strategic ESG certification program for business sustainability and growth for CXO and business leaders by NDTV, Terry and Zenora. Master global ESG frameworks, gain real-world tools and lead with impact. Starts August the 23rd. Enroll now and power your business with sustainability.
Very good evening and welcome to Nationwide at 6 on NDTV. I'm Ankit Tyagi. The top focus today remains on the two big stories that we are tracking here on NDTV. The first one, of course, The one that we broke here first on NDTV, Operation Mahadev, one of the butchers of the Pahalgam attack, more than 97 days later has been neutralized by the security forces. Pahalgam has finally been avenged. We'll get you all the details, the inside dope of what happened, how this operation was in fact put together. And we'll then, of course, talk about the fireworks that are taking place in the Parliament. Operation Sindoor, fierce face-off, which is taking place in the Parliament. The debate is expected to run today till midnight. We'll get you the details from there as well. Let's start with the headlines at this hour. India avenges Pahalgam attack. 3 terrorists neutralized by the security forces. Pahalgam mastermind tracked, cornered, gunned down. Operation Sindoor debate in Lok Sabha. Rajnath Singh, the Raksha Mantri, opens the debate, says forces achieved target. 100 terrorists have been killed. Congress's Gaurav Gogoi hits out at the government, says, why did we agree to ceasefire? Country needs to know the truth about the jets as well. Divya Deshmukh wins a 5 World Cup title. Divya becomes the 88th Grandmaster, beats India's Conori Humphrey in the second round rapid chess game. All right, let's take you now straight to the Parliament, the Lok Sabha, where Dipender Hooda, Congress MP from Rohtak, is speaking at this moment. Listen.
या तो आंख दिखाओ या हाथ मिलाओ या तो बातचीत करके अमेरिका से संबंध सुधारो और डोनाल्ड को चुप कराओ, डोनाल्ड का मुंह बंद कराओ, नहीं तो हिंदुस्तान में मैकडोनाल्ड को बंद कराओ। अमेरिका को अधिकार नहीं है, दोनों घोड़ों पे सवार होकर चलने का अधिकार नहीं है। आपकी एक और आपकी विदेश नीति की तीसरी बड़ी असफलता चीन को लेकर है। मैं याद दिला दूं, जब आसिफ मुनीर अमेरिका के अंदर लंच कर रहे थे, उनको भोजन दिया जा रहा था और वो कह रहे थे कि डोनाल्ड ट्रंप को नोबेल पीस प्राइज दिया जाए। जब वो ये कह रहे थे, उसी दिन इत्तेफाक से उसी दिन चीन के अंदर ट्राइलैटरल बातचीत चल रही थी, चीन, पाकिस्तान और बांग्लादेश की। ये उस दिन ट्राइलैटरल बातचीत चल रही थी। चीन को लेकर बार बार आपको आगाह किया हमारे नेता राहुल गांधी जी ने, इसी सदन में किया है, लेकिन उनकी बात को आपने हल्के में लिया। और आज आपको आगाह कर रहे थे, हमारी फौज आगाह कर रही है चीन को लेकर। जो हमारे फौज के डिप्टी चीफ ऑफ आर्मी स्टाफ है राहुल सिंह, उनका बयान आया कि चीन ये जो युद्ध था, इसमें पूरी तरीके से पाकिस्तान को सर्वेलेंस में, सैटेलाइट में, इक्विपमेंट में, प्लेटफॉर्म में, नेटवर्क में पूरी तरीके से पाकिस्तान का साथ चीन दे रहा था। और पाकिस्तान के डीजीएमओ की बात आई कि जब लड़ाई चल रही थी तो एमओ रूम के अंदर चीन के एम्बेसडर, पाकिस्तान में जो चीन के एम्बेसडर हैं, वो एमओ रूम पाकिस्तान के आर्मी के हेडक्वार्टर में बैठे थे। ये पाकिस्तान के डीजीएमओ ने कहा। लेकिन आपका क्या रिस्पॉन्स रहा? आपने चीन के एम्बेसडर को अभी तक दिल्ली में तलब करने का भी की कार्रवाई नहीं करी, चीन को कार्रवाई नहीं करी। जब टर्की ने पाकिस्तान के साथ देने के लिए अपना बेड़ा बजाया, तो आपने टर्की के दुश्मन मुल्क साइप्रस में प्रधानमंत्री जी गए, अच्छा संदेश गया। मगर जो असली दुश्मन था चीन, आपको अगर संदेश देना था तो ताइवान में प्रधानमंत्री जी जाते, चीन को संदेश देते। चीन को भूल गए। और 6 जुलाई को जब जनरल राहुल सिंह ने कहा कि चीन इसके पीछे है, आपका क्या जवाब रहा? विदेश मंत्री जी आप 10 जुलाई को बीजिंग चले गए, ताइवान नहीं बीजिंग चले गए, और आपका ट्वीट आया, आपका वक्तव्य आया कि चीन की जो एससीओ की अध्यक्षता है उसका भारत समर्थन करता है और हमारे संबंधों में सुधार हो रहा है। किस बात का दबाव? चीन से। भारत एक स्वतंत्र, एक ऐसा देश है जिसको आज हल्के में नहीं लेना जाना चाहिए। आपकी एक और रक्षा मंत्री बोल रहे थे, मैं एक और डिफेंस प्रिपेयर्डनेस को लेकर भी इस बीच में कहना चाहूंगा। हमने देखा आर्मी वालों ने क्या कहा, एयरफोर्स वालों ने क्या कहा। मैं 2 ही पढ़ना चाहता हूं, आर्मी और एयरफोर्स। आपको सुनना पड़ेगा वो क्या कह रहे हैं। रक्षा मंत्री जी, आपकी भी 11 साल की रक्षा नीति 11 साल की, उसका रिपोर्ट कार्ड जो हम कहें उससे मत मानना। मगर जो डिप्टी चीफ ऑफ आर्मी स्टाफ लेफ्टिनेंट जनरल राहुल सिंह ने कहा, क्या कहा? उन्होंने कहा राहुल सिंह जी की जो स्टेटमेंट आई चीन को लेकर, उसके बाद उन्होंने कहा द इक्विपमेंट दैट वाज सपोज्ड टू बी रिसीव्ड इन जनवरी हैज नॉट बीन डिलीवर्ड येट. We still depend on a lot of things from outside, and if all that equipment was made available, the story may have been little different. ये उन्होंने कहा. और हमारे एयर मार्शल अमरप्रीत सिंह, जिन पे हमें गर्व है, उन्होंने क्या कहा? उन्होंने कहा, एयर मार्शल ने, हमने नहीं, उन्होंने कहा, not a single project that I can think of has been completed on time. Why should we promise something which cannot be achieved?
हुड्डा जी,
एयर फोर्स कह रही है, आर्मी कह रही है, और स्टैंडिंग कमेटी.
एक सेकेंड. हुड्डा जी, आपके पार्टी से आज की लिस्ट में बहुत सारे नाम आए हैं, इसलिए आप अपना भाषण जल्दी से खत्म कीजिए. और एक सेकेंड, एक सेकेंड, हुड्डा जी एक सेकेंड, नहीं, एक सेकेंड, हम आपको एक सेकेंड, हुड्डा जी एक सेकेंड रुकिए. यदि सभा की सहमति हो तो सभा की कार्यवाही आज रात 12 बजे तक बढ़ा जाएगा. थैंक यू, धन्यवाद. आप सब आप कंक्लूड कीजिए.
केवल उन्होंने नहीं कहा, आदरणीय रक्षा मंत्री जी, केवल उन्होंने नहीं कहा, स्टैंडिंग कमेटी, क्योंकि संसदीय स्टैंडिंग कमेटीज की रिपोर्ट पर आपकी सरकार ध्यान नहीं देती. 2018 की रिपोर्ट, 2023 की रिपोर्ट क्या कह रही थी आपको? आप लगातार रक्षा बजट को घटा रहे हैं, जो सही नहीं है. रक्षा बजट को बढ़ाइए. इन 11 वर्षों में रक्षा बजट एज अ परसेंटेज ऑफ जीडीपी और एज अ परसेंटेज ऑफ हमारा जो बजट एज अ परसेंटेज ऑफ जीडीपी, इन 11 वर्षों में रक्षा बजट 2.5% से घटकर 1.9% पे आप लेके आए. और ये जो रक्षा बजट एज अ जीडीपी के प्रतिशत में, ये रक्षा बजट 1962 के युद्ध के बाद सबसे नीचे स्तर पर आप लेके आए. और स्टैंडिंग कमेटीज आपको कह रही थी कि ये सही नहीं है. रक्षा बजट आपने कम किया, अग्निवीर जैसी योजनाएं आपने लेके आए, जिसने फौज, देश की फौज पे जिसमें हमें गर्व था, उसका हमारा मानना है कि वो फौज के लिए सही नहीं थी. लेकिन उससे भी एक और दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण बात यह है कि रक्षा बजट में एयर फोर्स मॉडर्नाइजेशन के बार जिस बात को लेकर आपको
We'll keep going back, in fact, to Dipinder Hooda and the other parliamentarians, those who are speaking in a very important debate on Operation Sindoor. 16 hours has been allotted for this debate. It's because the time today was between 12 to 6. So now it has been extended, as you heard the sitting chair in the Lok Sabha, in fact, asking the parliamentarians, the members in the House, that should this be extended till 12 o'clock. So today till midnight. This debate is going to continue, and we'll keep going back when, in fact, important points and important speakers are speaking in the parliament. It's an important debate which is taking place. But just shifting focus slightly to the other big story of the day, justice for Pahalgam victims. The 26, those who were gunned down in cold blood by the butchers, those who came from Pakistan. Pakistani terrorists have been tracked, cornered and gunned down by the security forces in Jammu and Kashmir. 3 terrorists have been gunned down in an encounter with the security forces in Ledwas near Jammu and Kashmir, Srinagar. The army has said, in fact, the army official X account of the Indian Army's Chinar Corps has posted that the security forces have launched Operation Mahadev. 3 terrorists have been neutralized after an intense firefight. The operation continues. The opposition, remember, has been repeatedly cornering the government over their inability to nab the terrorists behind the attack. At least one of the 3 is confirmed as the mastermind of the Pahalgam terror attack. Remember, it's been more than 3 months, 97 days. It was legitimate question. How did these people come into India? How were they able to go back? Where have they been hiding? At least one of the perpetrators, the terrorists who actually held the gun and carried out this massacre in Pahalgam, has now been neutralized. That is confirmed by the security forces. The operation is still ongoing. The security forces believe there could be other terrorists in this vicinity, and that's what they are doing at this moment. They are combing the entire vicinity under Operation Mahadev. The development, remember, comes on the day when the Parliament is discussing Operation Sindoor.
India's response to this massacre. Remember, India punished punitive strikes took place in Pakistan, where the terror infrastructure, the head of the terror snake in Pakistan, was dealt a severe blow by the Indian armed forces during Operation Sindoor. Now, the operation is still ongoing, says the Indian Army. Let's listen in to some reactions.
अभी ऑपरेशन इज स्टिल कंटिन्यू, ठीक है ना. इट वाज एन ऑपरेशन विच इज क्वाइट प्रोलॉन्ग्ड फॉर ए लॉन्ग टाइम, ठीक है ना. दैट इज स्टिल कंटिन्यूइंग, बट इन विच जम्मू कश्मीर पुलिस, पैरामिलिट्री एंड आर्मी दे हैव एन एक्सचेंज ऑफ फायर in the higher reaches. So as per the interior reports, 3 bodies are being observed and seems to be neutralized. So this is all, but still it is operation, so I would not like to divulge much at this moment. We will share details with you at an opportune time, ठीक है ना, because